Miro sends a bold message to AEW roster after TNT title win. Batista slams WWE for top female superstars booking. And CM Punk takes a shot at Vince McMahon while responding to current Raw Superstars tweet. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. To stay up to date with all of our content, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Miro sends a bold message to the AEW roster after his TNT title win. Miro became the new TNT champion after defeating Darby Allin in the main event of this week's AEW Dynamite. In what was mostly one-sided contest, the Bulgarian star forced Allin into submission to claim the title. The former WWE star gained an early advantage by assaulting Allin during his entrance. Despite this, the Daredevil of AEW did put on a brave fight and pushed Miro to the limit. However, the Bulgarian star was too much for Allin to handle as he passed out to the game over. After winning the match, Miro took to Twitter and sent a bold message to the entire locker room. He posted a picture of himself with the TNT Championship around his waist and asked AEW to line up challengers for him by saying, "Line them all up." A week ago, during the build-up to the match, the now former TNT champion Darby Allin took a shot at Miro and called him underwhelming. He also questioned the Bulgarian star persona on AEW as well. Miro proved Allin wrong on this week's show and had a special message for him after the main event win. Following the match, the former WWE star posted a picture of himself holding the TNT Championship after Allin had passed out. This seems to be a direct response to the former champion's comment about him earlier. Darby Allin and Sting will now be focusing their feud with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. We could see both teams collide at AEW Double or Nothing. Meanwhile, Miro had a confrontation with Lance Archer following his title win. It looks like a match between the two could also be set up for the upcoming pay-per-view on May 30th. Batista slams WWE for top superstar females booking. WWE legend Batista isn't happy with the company's booking of former Raw Women's Champion Asuka. The Empress of Tomorrow is currently involved in a three-way Raw Women's title feud with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. The three women are set to collide in a triple threat match at WrestleMania Backlash with the coveted belt on the line. The latest edition of Monday Night Raw saw Asuka take on Rhea Ripley in singles action before the upcoming pay-per-view. The match ended with Ripley picking up a huge win over the Empress of Tomorrow. And this did not sit well with Batista. Batista noticed a clip of Rhea's win over Asuka on WWE official's Instagram handle and took a major shot at the company with his comment. The Animal believes that WWE jobbed out Asuka on Raw and isn't happy about it one bit. Batista has done it all in the squared circle and is one of the greatest WWE superstars of the 21st century. He has appreciated the effort Asuka has put into her matches on numerous occasions in the past. When Asuka won the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase last year and later received the Raw Women's Championship from Becky Lynch, Batista expressed his happiness. He tweeted his reaction on her becoming Raw Women's Champion and called her his hero. Asuka lost the Raw Women's title to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 37 and has been feuding with the Nightmare and Charlotte Flair ever since. These three women are all set to engage in a fierce battle at WrestleMania Backlash. MJF issues Stadium Stampede challenge to Inner Circle for AEW Double or Nothing and adds an interesting stipulation. It looks like the feud between the Inner Circle and Pinnacle in AEW is far from over and could be settled at AEW Double or Nothing. MJF has issued a Stadium Stampede challenge to the Inner Circle, but he certainly raised the stakes of the match by adding an interesting stipulation. This week's episode of AEW Dynamite witnessed the coronation of the Pinnacle following their victory over Jericho and his stable in the Blood and Guts match last week. MJF came to the ring with his teammates to celebrate and bragged about how the Pinnacle was responsible for making AEW Dynamite the #1 cable show last week. Tully Blanchard handed out expensive watches to Pinnacle members while MJF rejected a proposed match from the Inner Circle. He claimed the faction's leader Chris Jericho was out of commission while Santana was arrested after stabbing him with a fork last week. Ortiz, Sammy Guevara, and Jake Hager arrived to spoil their celebration in the Inner Circle branded bubbly truck. Much to the surprise of MJF, Jericho emerged from the vehicle and proceeded to embarrass the Pinnacle members by dosing them with a champagne bath. MJF agreed to the rematch with the Inner Circle in the Stadium Stampede match at AEW Double or Nothing on May 30th. However, the Pinnacle leader added a stipulation that if Jericho-led faction lost at the pay-per-view, they will have to break up. Le Champion and his crew are yet to accept the challenge. Last year at AEW Double or Nothing, the inaugural Stadium Stampede match took place between the Elite and the Inner Circle. Chris Jericho and his team came up short in the bout. It was a smart move by MJF to opt for this unique bout, as the Inner Circle is currently not at full strength. As mentioned before, Santana is away from the group while Jericho is still nursing injuries sustained during the Blood and Guts match last week. Le Champion and the Inner Circle will need to think hard before accepting the challenge. We might receive an answer or a counter from the stable on next week's AEW Dynamite. CM Punk takes shots at Vince McMahon while responding to current Raw Superstars tweet. The former WWE Champion CM Punk took a dig at Vince McMahon while responding to Charlotte Flair's recent social media post. The Queen was recently in commentary during Asuka's match with Rhea Ripley on this week's edition of Monday Night Raw. The three superstars are currently scheduled to collide at the upcoming WrestleMania Backlash pay-per-view this Sunday for the Raw Women's Championship in a triple threat match. Charlotte Flair shared a photo of herself at the commentary desk from this week's Raw on her Twitter account. She also put in the message, "Caption this," for the picture as well. CM Punk, who has some experiences on the commentary table during his time in WWE, replied to the post with what Vince McMahon told him in his ear. CM Punk also revealed that he was told not to say the word wrestling while doing commentary, which used to be a part of a long list of banned words in WWE. CM Punk was one of the biggest WWE stars of the 21st century. The straight-edge superstar had a record 434-day title reign with the WWE Championship. His match with John Cena at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view in 2011 was awarded a 5-star match, and it remains one of the greatest moments in WWE history. CM Punk also had a notable feuds with superstars such as Jeff Hardy, The Undertaker, and The Rock. Despite being away from wrestling for quite some time now, many members of the WWE Universe are still hopeful that CM Punk will return to the company one day. Aleister Black shows off physical transformation, Randy Orton reacts. SmackDown superstar Aleister Black has taken to social media to show off the results of his physical transformation over the last 7 months. Black's last WWE match ended in defeat against Kevin Owens on the October 12th episode of Monday Night Raw. Since then, fans have been pinning for his return. Ahead of his long-awaited return, the former NXT champion shared a picture and message on Instagram about his change in physique. Aleister Black said he altered his approach to nutrition after he started working with fitness coach Josh Fry. The 35-year-old has lost over 20 pounds since he's last competed in his last match. Responding to Black's post, former world champion Randy Orton said his fellow WWE superstar is one of a kind and told him to keep that body healthy. Although Aleister Black's WWE return date has not yet been confirmed, it's safe to assume he'll be back on WWE television soon. Vignettes promoting his return began airing on April 23rd episode of WWE SmackDown. So far, Black has mentioned monsters in his cryptic videos, but he has not called out any WWE superstars by name. Aleister Black signed with WWE in 2016 and made his in-ring debut for the company in 2017. He spent the first 2 years of his WWE career in NXT, where he held the NXT Championship for 108 days. February 19th, Black joined WWE's main roster and briefly formed a tag team with Ricochet. Since their alliance ended in April of 2019, the Dutch Destroyer's most notable singles match have come against the likes of Bobby Lashley, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Murphy, and Seth Rollins. According to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, there was originally a planned vignette for Aleister Black last week on SmackDown. However, the segment was removed from the show due to time constraints. Thanks for watching today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. For more news stories and exclusive content, be sure to follow us on all social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.